What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 10 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. As you can probably notice, we are in a different environment once again. I have just been kind of bouncing around a little bit. I will be here for the next couple days. Hopefully we can get some better lighting, but we'll kind of see what we can do. And also, hopefully the noise isn't too loud. I am pretty high up, but there can still be some distractions. So today we're using the Ho-Oh team from my 5 rental teams video. I highly recommend checking that out. One important thing to note is that the rental in the video for this team is wrong. I did have to change it due to the fact that Ho-Oh is not battle ready. But the main idea is we do have Ho-Oh. It is a very good anti-meta Pokemon, having good answers to Zacian, having good answers to Xerneas, and having good answers to Calyrex due to its naturally high special bulk. We also do have a lot of good support. Like we have Amoonguss to help deal with Kyogre. We also do have Gastrodon and Storm Drain for that. We have Hitmontop with Wide Guard to really offer good support. Raichu with things like Fake Out and Nuzzle, Eerie Impulse, and Volt Switch can help out. And finally, we do have Aegislash. So talking a little bit about how we deal with the big four, I always think that that's important. Zacian obviously is not going to like Ho-Oh, it's not going to like Gastrodon that much, and it's not going to like the Intimidate from Hitmontop. So that's our main options for that. Kyogre obviously is not going to deal well into Amoonguss, nor is it going to deal well into Gastrodon. And similarly, we do have Raichu, which can go for things like Nuzzle and Eerie Impulse to do big damage, and we also have Hitmontop with Wide Guard. Calyrex similarly isn't going to like Wide Guard from Hitmontop. We do have Aegislash, so Aegislash with Hitmontop is a great option where we can go for things like Shadow Sneak, and they are forced to use something other than Astral Barrage or take out Hitmontop first. And then finally we have Xerneas. Xerneas obviously isn't going to like Amoonguss. It's not going to like Ho-Oh. Aegislash is designed to beat Xerneas, and similarly we have Raichu, which in the right position can get an Eerie Impulse off before a Geomancy. So that's the team. Hopefully we can do really well with it, and with that, let's just kind of hop right into our first game. Alright, battle number 1, and it is a Zacian team. So it is a Zacian with Incineroar. We do have Urshifu, probably Water, with a Sableye, Thundurus, and Porygon 2. So I definitely want Ho-Oh. I obviously want Ho-Oh. I want Hitmontop. I think it's super important. Gastrodon is really big here. Maybe Amoonguss as well. Amoonguss what? Amoonguss has to worry about Incineroar, but that's really it. So I like Ho-Oh Amoonguss with Gastro, and no, let's do Ho-Oh Hitmontop with Amoonguss Gastrodon. I think having access to it is really important. Aegislash does have to worry about Behemoth Blade, but if we can get it to neutral, that's super important. Is there an argument for Aegislash over Amoonguss? Not really. I'm going to try sticking with this because I do expect it to be Urshifu Water. If it's Urshifu Dark, that does make things obviously a lot more tricky, but feeling good about these 4. I think it really gives us kind of the best answers to what my opponent has. I know we saw the timer get really close. I don't actually know. I don't think they timed out. I think if they timed out, I think it's still fine because Zacian is in the first slot, so you're guaranteed that. But let's take a look, right? Never want to rule that out, but I do think that is something worth noting. Okay, so it is Urshifu Water, which is really great for us, as we are going to be able to bring out Hitmontop as well as Ho-Oh. So we are going to be able to get the attack drop onto their Urshifu, as we can pretty freely. I don't want to lose Hitmontop. I want to just let's go for a straight Sacred Fire. I want to get the damage and then just go for a straight Fake Out into Urshifu. I think Hitmontop should be able to live a hit. We are going to see the Urshifu swap out. I think that that's fine for now. As the Incineroar, which does make sense, right? You want to also be able to start cycling damage onto my... cycling Intimidates onto my Ho-Oh. We're going to see the Zacian Protect. I think that's a very good play on my opponent's end. But at this point, we do have a pretty free switch from the Hitmontop into Gastrodon, right? Because Gastrodon is in a really strong spot. We can just protect here, and then this is a potential free sub, though. I'm half tempted. I mean, what? You could sub expecting a protect and a switch, and we're honestly not super threatened, so I'm fine just to Sacred Fire and close Let's close combat into Incineroar. Incineroar doesn't worry me too much. We are going to see the obvious fake out into Ho-Oh. I think that makes sense. We are going to see Wild Charge, so that was unexpected, to say the least. But we will trigger our Berry to get a good amount of it back. We now do obviously have a very safe switch from Ho-Oh into Gastrodon, as we are going to be able to get a big close combat off into this Incineroar. Not doing as much as I would have liked, and now I feel like we kind of do have to switch out Hitmontop. So what we can do is we can actually... I want to protect Ho-Oh here and then bring out Gastrodon, just because I want to preserve Hitmontop for Intimidates later. I think Gastrodon is a really great option into what my opponent has. One thing that I think will be a little bit unfortunate is... okay, so we see the last is Porygon 2. So this is a really good spot, I think, for Hitmontop. They do copy the Storm Drain, I think. Oh, because they were trying to copy the Intimidate, which is smart. We are going to see the Behemoth Blade come out into into Gastrodon. It shouldn't do that much. It looks like a 3-hit KO roughly. And so what we can do is I'm going to actually just cycle back into Hitmontop here and then go for an Earth Power into the Zacian, right? We know that we can at least take another one. Obviously, if we get the drop, we are going to see the switch out into Urshifu, which is obviously not going to appreciate getting intimidated. And we do have a Mungus in the back, so that is something else we have going for us in our favor. And so the question now is... Oh, and there's Storm Drain, so that... Yeah, I wish Storm Drain was like Lightning Ball. We are seeing a Shadow Ball come out, most likely into Gastrodon. Gastrodon is going to take that fairly well. That will trigger our Citrus. And this is, I think, a little bit of a tricky spot, right? We don't have the best damage output, but we are getting good chip onto the Urshifu. We do put it at about half, so I want to fake out into Porygon 2. And Earth Power is just very safe into the Urshifu slot, because whatever you bring in is going to take a lot. We should be able to survive a close combat from this range, especially because they are at -1. We are going to see the switch out, most likely into Incineroar. Yep, we are going to see the Incineroar come out, and I'm hoping at this range, Earth Power can pick up the knockout. And I'm not super worried about Porygon 2 having something like... I mean, it could have Ally Switch. Let's see where it goes. Okay, so we saw the flinch as we pick up the knockout there. So what I'm thinking that this Porygon 2 has Ally Switch, right? Because that's the only reason it would move before my Gastrodon. Actually, that's not true. Gastrodon is dirt slow. We are going to see Zacian come back out. I do want to preserve Hitmontop. So I can call the Ally Switch. I'm going to swap out Hitmontop into... Let's bring out Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh, I think, is fine, and I want to Earth Power into this slot, expecting to see an Ally Switch. But I don't actually know if it's Ally Switch, because like I said, Gastrodon is so slow that I like legitimately don't know. I mean, it could also be Ally Switch. It also just could be the fact that we're naturally slower. But this isn't min speed, like this isn't 0 speed Gastrodon. This is modest, and I think we do have 4 speed, but like I actually could just check. So if it's Ally Switch, that would obviously be very great. We do have okay, so we are going to see the swap out from Porygon 2, which is unfortunate, but this does mean we do get an Earth Power, hopefully into you're just going to go for a Sacred Sword. Yeah, we do manage to live, and so we are going to be able to get off an Earth Power into this Urshifu, which picks up the knockout, right? And that's huge because you're now forced to bring out your Porygon 2, and we can cycle Intimidate onto this Zacian while going for big Sacred Fires, right? And you can't go for a Fake Out. We do see the Storm Drain come out. So we can just Sacred Fire here very safely and then switch out into Hitmontop. And Hitmontop will give us Fake Out pressure as well as Intimidate. So I feel really, really good about this. I don't want to say it's like 100% over. Obviously, like there are things to be worried about, and we can't just guarantee with certainty like, oh, the game is going to go this way. But we do have Amoonguss with Redirection as well as access to things like Spore, which can come in very handy. And I think the fact that we can now start really preserving damage between using Regenerator while cycling these Intimidates and theoretically just doing a double switch makes me feel pretty confident. We are going to see the Behemoth Blade just come out, so that's no sub. Most likely into into the Hitmontop slot. That's fine. Hitmontop does hold on. Assuming we don't see an attack come out, we will be able to pick up the knockout. Very close. We are getting the burn too, so Zacian will go down the next turn, as unfortunately we will lose this Hitmontop, or Hitmontop hangs on. So that's really great, and even if we didn't get the burn on Zacian, we do have access to Fake Out, so feeling like that, I mean, it worked out fine. And yeah, I think with that we should just be able to wrap this up with a Brave Bird as well as a Close Combat into the Porygon 2. So really, really good first game overall. Like I said, Zacian doesn't really do well into Ho-Oh, but one thing I have noticed with this team is it doesn't always have the best damage output, right? Ho-Oh is really your main source of damage, but even then, like, it doesn't have too much attack. Amoonguss obviously is very defensive, as is Hitmontop, as is Raichu, so you're really kind of relying on Ho-Oh, Aegis Slash, and to some extent Gastrodon for your damage. But really glad we were able to pull out the first one, and yeah, let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. Alright, battle number 2, and it is once again a Zacian team, but very, very interesting, right? It's Zacian with Cinderace, they have Milotic, Rillaboom, Thundurus Incarnate? I actually don't know. The non-Genie Thundurus, and Mimikyu. Hitmontop obviously is an interesting choice because of Milotic. I think Amoonguss is huge. Amoonguss does have to obviously worry about Cinderace. Gastrodon is really big, but it has to worry about Rillaboom. We do also have Lightning Rod on Raichu. Aegis Slash, probably don't want. I do want Hitmontop. I like Ho-Oh Gastrodon, Amoonguss in the back, and then probably Hitmontop, right? I'm really leaving myself weak to Milotic. I can't. Raichu's a hard sell, especially because it means giving up either Intimidate. I think I really need Amoonguss. I need Gastrodon for sure. I guess I could have given up. I could have given up Amoonguss for Raichu. I think they kind of serve the same purpose, as we are going to see Cinderace Milotic. So this is fine. I want to protect Ho-Oh, and we could yawn Cinderace. Let me think. We protect Ho-Oh, expecting something. I want to yawn. If I yawn Cinderace will go Nap Time, as I can switch out into Amoonguss. So let's do that. I do expect... Interesting, no switches. Maybe, what? You go for a high jump kick. Which is really interesting. Because if I had just gone for a Brave Bird... Wow, that... Oh, because it's a crit. God, imagine if I double protected there. We are going to take a nice chunk of damage, as we are going to see the Icy Wind come out from this Milotic. Gastrodon is going to take a drop in speed. I do expect to see Cinderace switch out. I would love Rillaboom to come in for some recovery. I would like to... I could Sacred Fire into Milotic for passive damage. I'm going to Brave Bird into it. I don't expect it to be able to pick up a knockout. And I'm going to go for a Protect here. I really wish I had double protected turn 1 to stop that high jump kick. As yet, we are going to see the Cinderace switch out. As in comes Thundurus, which is a really interesting switch in for sure. So we know their whole team at this point. We are going to see the Muddy Water come out, which is actually really interesting as well, given the fact that I have Gastrodon out. Ho takes way... Oh, God, another critical hit. That should not be that much damage. We are going to be able to get off... I'll take that. That's good damage with a Brave Bird. I'm going to switch out from Gastrodon into Amoonguss. I think Amoonguss is in a very good spot, as we can... Let's Earth Power into Milotic. Milotic is going to give me a lot of trouble. And I think with Milotic gone, I don't really know too much what Thundurus wants to do, which makes this really tricky, right? Because I don't know enough about it. It's an interesting choice because you give up Prankster, but we are going to be able to bring out Amoonguss. We are going to see a Sludge Bomb come out, and Amoonguss is it's neutral. Icy Wind will come out into both of us. Gastrodon hanging on real well, and hopefully we can do enough with this Earth Power to pick up the knockout into Milotic, because that would be really good. We are luckily... Oh, God. I thought we got that knockout. I'm going to Sludge Bomb into Milotic and bring out Ho-Oh. Yeah, because I need Ho-Oh to gain some HP back. Gastrodon is just so low. I wish it had leftovers over Aegislash. I think I probably should have put Citrus onto Aegislash, as they do make the correct call and they poison Ho-Oh. So my opponent has gotten really good luck this game, to say the least, between the two crits, hitting all of the Icy Winds and this poison, because now Ho-Oh's ability to kind of regenerate has significantly gone down. But we do get rid of Milotic, so now we do have at least the option of doing some work with Intimidate. We are going to be in Figgy range, though, so that's really nice. We do have Redirection with Amoonguss, so we can fodder Amoonguss, theoretically. We have seen Sludge Bomb on them. Okay, so in comes Cinderace. I'm expecting a high jump kick, so I would like to protect Amoonguss. I'm going to protect Amoonguss and then bring out Hitmontop. And then what I can do is I can fake out to bring out Gastrodon, and that'll help HP-wise with both Amoonguss and Ho-Oh, as we will be able to regenerate her back. Maybe they Sludge Bomb into the Hitmontop slot. Let's see. We are going to see a Protect from Amoonguss, so no other Protects. Probably, like I said, a Pyro Ball. We're going to see a Sludge Bomb into the Hitmontop slot, which is going to be followed by another Poison, as you are going to Pyro Ball, into the Amoonguss slot. So what we can do now is we can... What happened? Oh, I got disconnected. So like I said, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. My internet isn't the best. obviously people are watching this live. So to my opponent, I'm really, really sorry about that. I promise I didn't rage. I hope you see this video to know that. But definitely frustrating. I think it was still doable, but I mean, we'll never know, and we just gotta keep rolling through the punches and move to the next one. All right, we're back for battle number 3. Hopefully we don't get another disconnect. I feel like if that keeps happening, I might just play on Showdown, which is definitely unfortunate. But looking at my opponent's team, they have Rillaboom, Xerneas with Regieleki, Incineroar, or Shifu, probably water, as well as Volcarona. So this is more or less like the big 5, right? One is missing. Yeah, this is the big 5. So what I want to do into this, Ho is very strong, so is Amoonguss. Amoonguss is very well into a lot of it. Volcarona is scary. Gastrodon is great. Yeah, there's a lot of options. I'm going to lead Ho-Oh, Amoonguss. I do want Aegislash. Do I want Aegislash? Aegislash doesn't like... I mean, Ho is great into Volcarona. It doesn't have to worry about Flame Body. I like Gastrodon, and then... Raichu is tempting... What? Raichu's great because of Lightning Rod and damage onto stuff. Aegislash, not really. It doesn't have to worry about knockoff from Rillaboom. I'm gonna go with Raichu. I think, yeah, this is a tough one. I also think leading with Ho-Oh isn't always the best idea, but I think for this situation it does make a lot of sense. Also, like, I know I've already talked about it, I am super frustrated that last match got disconnected because I felt like there was a lot of luck and it looks like I rage quit, and I promise I obviously didn't. You saw it here. So if my opponent, you are watching this, I really am sorry about what happened. Okay, so this is great, right? We're gonna see a Xerneas next to Volcarona. So Amoonguss is... Okay, I'm checking that Amoonguss is grass type. We can very easily Brave Bird into Volcarona without fear, as well as go for a Spore onto Xerneas. And even if you switch out into Rillaboom, like, it is still very safe. This Ho is very slow, so I do definitely have to worry about being outsped by what is it called? By the Volcarona, and also going for a Brave Bird is just going to be a little bit tricky because I am going to lose quite a bit of HP. So we are going to see the Xerneas swap out. Rillaboom is obviously very great for us. We are going to see Incineroar, so it's either Goggles or we put the Incineroar to sleep, and I think both of those are pretty good options, especially if we can get rid of Volcarona turn 1. We are going to see a Protect, so that's no big deal. And now, moment of truth, or actually first after the Brave Bird goes off, are we seeing Goggles on Incineroar? So no Goggles, which is super, super great for us. We still obviously do have the attack drop, so that is something to be wary of, but I'm fine to Brave Bird into you and then switch out into Gastrodon. I think that makes a lot of sense. We know, like I said, Incineroar is not going to be able to go for... Go for a fake out this turn because of the guaranteed sleep. So we will be able to bring a Gastrodon, and then we can swap out from Ho-Oh in order to help preserve that. As we are going to see an Overheat come out, which is really great. Gastrodon is going to take that super, super well, and now we should have a pretty safe, a pretty safe, hopefully, knockout into this Volcarona, as, yep, we are going to be able to bring it down, which is great for us, right? We are in a pretty dominating spot. We have an Incineroar that is asleep. We took not as much recoil as I expected, and Gastrodon is in a pretty strong spot. We obviously do have to worry, though, about Xerneas switching in now, but even still, we do have Amoonguss, and I think Amoonguss is in a good enough spot where I can really start doing some work, and we can go for, yeah, so Xerneas is going to switch in. I think that's fine overall because of the fact that Gastrodon can just go for a Yawn. So we can switch out into the Amoonguss here and go for a Yawn into Xerneas. And this guarantees that even if you are able to set up, we will obviously be able to stop you in the long run. Amoonguss comes out. We are going to see Xerneas protect. I think that that's fine. No Yawn coming out, and then what? We are going to see Ensign fast asleep. And so now we have multiple ways of scaring away the Xerneas. I would like to Spore into this slot. I could Spore and then Yawn. I'm going to go for an Earth Power onto Incineroar. I am curious what their last is. We are going to see the Xerneas swap out into Rillaboom. So definitely this is an awkward spot because of the fact that Spore is not going to affect, and you potentially have really big damage into Amoonguss, and I do need to preserve Amoonguss here, as we are... Oh, okay, so we are faster than Incineroar, which is very, very important. We also see that the Incineroar has a berry, and so the question is the Incineroar going to wake up this turn? Because we are kind of forced to double switch, right? We can't really stay in, but Ho-Oh is a fantastic switch right now. So what I want to actually do is bring out Ho-Oh for Amoonguss. Right, we do this because Ho-Oh isn't afraid of either of these, and go for a Protect with Gastrodon, and then we can swap by switching Amoonguss in for Gastrodon, which is... No, we can switch it Raichu. I think we care way too much about Amoonguss to let it go down that easily, because my opponent does have Xerneas, and I mean we have so much sleep pressure that your Xerneas can't get set up freely, especially given the fact that we just bring out Ho-Oh here. The big question is this Rillaboom going to be Assault Vest? Because if it's not, that's great, they can't protect, and whatever's in that slot is just going to eat something up. We are going to see the U-turn, so this is actually really good for us, right? Because we can now go for a Sacred Fire as well as a Yawn into that slot. And I'm not worried in terms of either of these Pokemon for like Xerneas. Xerneas does not scare Ho-Oh, it does not scare, what is it called? Gastrodon. We are going to see a Taunt come out into the Ho-Oh slot. I think that that's totally fine. We are, as we saw, faster than the, what is it called? Faster than their Incineroar, so we can... Definitely, are we faster? How are we faster? What is it? Gastrodon's speed. Gastrodon has speed 60. That doesn't make sense. Okay. But we can Sacred Fire here, as well as go for a Yawn onto the Xerneas slot as well. I think even if they do get up, we are going to see the double protect. I think that's fine. You're probably... Oh, you're going to taunt into Gastrodon to prevent the Yawn going forward, and then how is this? Must be like a Brave Incineroar. We're going to see a Parting Shot into Ho-Oh. So this is a very smart play, but we do now have access to... We can just double... We bring out Amoonguss and go for damage into... We are going to see Rillaboom come out. I could just Sacred Fire into Rillaboom and Sacred Fire here and Yawn here. We did just see the Protect. We could honestly just double up into... No, I want to split it, because the worst thing that could happen is I burn the Xerneas with Sacred Fire, right? Because I need to put it to sleep. We are going to see the Geomancy come up. Ho-Oh should be able to live a Geomancy. We do have Amoonguss, which can take it. We also do have Raichu with Fake Out Pressure, which puts us in a phenomenal spot. We saw no... what is it called? We saw no Fake Out from Rillaboom. Same with Grassy Glide. So I'm guessing you're going for a Wood Hammer. As Sacred Fire will connect... I would have really liked it to do more damage, especially because we don't pick up the burn, as you are going to U-turn out into Incineroar. And so what I want to do now is... I do have Raichu. Getting Raichu out next to... Yeah, because I can't really afford Ho-Oh to stay in... Oh, we went for a Yawn onto Xerneas. I forgot about that. So this is... I totally forgot about that. I I do need to switch Ho-Oh out, though. We do shake out the taunt. We can protect this turn, and I say we double. Do we sacrifice Ho-Oh? Raichu is tempting. What does Raichu accomplish? You're probably going to switch out into Rillaboom. Right? So I could just double up. I'm going to go for this and Earth Power into the... Do you give up your boost to fall asleep? Let's go for it. I think either way it's a good position, because either we force out the Geomancy, which they're just going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. Ho-Oh takes that like an absolute champ. And if we can... Yeah, the fears now is we actually get the burn, which I don't want. We do, thankfully, not get the burn. So this lets us bring out Raichu pretty effectively, and we can start going for Eerie Impulses. So we can Eerie Impulse onto Xerneas to lower its special attack, because this is going to be a guaranteed sleep turn. I don't have to worry about, what is it called? I don't have to worry about the Incineroar outspeeding before I can get one off. So I can very, very easily just Eerie Impulse the Xerneas to try and get it as low as possible. And I think Ho-Oh is in a really good position to kind of wrap this game up, especially if we can. Yeah, so we're gonna have to swap out into Amoonguss here, and then I want to definitely Eerie Impulse into this Xerneas, right? I can't. If we can get it back to neutral attack, or neutral special attack, that's super good for us, especially given the fact that Ho is physical in nature, so that will really help with us. We are going to see the Incineroar switch out, so that's actually even better for us too, because of the fact that Rillaboom is going to give us more recovery, and we can go for a pretty safe Sludge Bomb into it from this range, and that should be enough to pick up a knockout. So, yeah, at this point we don't have to worry about... we don't have to worry about words that I'm trying to say. Do I have to worry about anything? I think it's still... Yeah, Fake Out's not too big of a deal because of grassy terrain, so I'm fine, honestly, just to Sludge Bomb into Rillaboom and go for another Eerie Impulse onto the Xerneas. If we get Xerneas to -2, like, Ho-Oh is already taking such little damage from the attack, so we should be able to clean it up with Sacred Fire, as we are going to see no Fake Out once again. Interesting tech for sure. So we are going to be able to get this Xerneas down to -4, which overall is like a really good position. U-turn coming out into the Amoonguss, which means we are going to be able to just get a good amount of damage with this Sludge Bomb onto Incineroar. And so now is the question of what we can... Yeah, because I think at this point, Ho-Oh is going to be Xern, and we can nuzzle into Incin. This game might go to timer, honestly. It is very, very long and stally. We do get the poison onto Incineroar. I think that that's super huge. Xerneas is going to be recovering, but at this point its damage output is very low. I maybe would have liked the nuzzle more, but... What? I think at this point we can safely bring out Ho-Oh for Amoonguss. We can do this, and then we can... I guess we, Volt Switch into Incineroar. You probably Fake Out into the Raichu slot. Or you could just go straight for a Flare Blitz, which would probably be ideal. We are going to see Xerneas, unfortunately, taking its third turn of sleep. I am not complaining too much. We are going to... This is a little risky, right? Because you very well could... I think if anything, you would Flare Blitz into the Raichu slot, as we can safely bring out Amoonguss. Amoonguss can now start going for Sludge Bomb, as we don't really have to worry about damage too much from the Xerneas. We are going to see the Flare Blitz come out. Is it going into Ho-Oh? Survey says yes. Ho-Oh takes very, very little. We are going to get some recoil as well as the poison damage. So Incineroar slowly getting whittled away. Probably want to protect. I want to definitely go for a Sacred Fire onto the Xerneas and go for a Protect. We could just Brave Bird. No, I want a Sacred Fire here and go for a protect, right? I can't really afford to, what am I trying to say? I can't really afford to Brave Bird. I think it's just too risky. I think with the damage, the like recoil, as well as the fact that Xerneas like still does have, Xerneas is at -4. We do have a ton of special defense. We're going to see a protect come out. I think that's smart. So we haven't seen fake out, and we saw did we see U-turn on Ensign? I forget if we saw it on Ensign. We're going to see a Flare Blitz come out into the Amoonguss, pretty expected, and I think at this point, I don't want to Sacred Fire into the, what is it called? Into the Incineroar. I'm just going to Brave Bird into it, and then I'm going to swap out into Raichu. I think Raichu has done its job. If we can get Raichu to live, that's obviously going to be huge. I think if we can get rid of Incineroar, we're in a very fine position, and overall now will be even better, right? Because Raichu can very easily go for a Fake Out if need. Oh. That's really funny. If Raichu lives, we Fake Out Xerneas. Wait, that's hilarious. I can Fake Out Xerneas the turn it's supposed to resolve its Geomancy. That's actually a hilarious interaction. I've never considered that. Let's see what happens. We do have Rillaboom come out. We can very easily, I don't want to Brave Bird it. We go for a Brave Bird onto, we got a Brave Bird. We Brave Bird here. We go for a Fake Out onto the Xerneas trying to Geomancy, which honestly I think is hilarious. We're going to see the Grassy Glide come out into Raichu. Raichu does hang on, which I think is super important, as this will be able to take out the Rillaboom. Yeah, Rillaboom's going to go down. We can... I do want to recover with Ho-Oh. Xerneas is at -4. I'm going to go for an Eerie Impulse and a Recover. I think Recover just makes the most sense, and I think between these two, between Ho-Oh and Amoonguss, like we can put Xerneas to sleep, and so I can't really. All right, well we have another disconnect, but was it me again? All right, yeah, I mean that's frustrating. I think I'm gonna use Showdown just given this internet situation, because I do want to keep uploading, but like if this happens every battle, yeah. But I do think we had that wrapped up, right? We still had the pressure from Raichu. We did have Amoonguss that obviously doesn't really worry about Xerneas, and that Xerneas was at -2. But really great games so far. I really am enjoying the team. Highly recommend people check it out. And yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.